Hey everyone, Heather here. And yesterday I decided to host an impromptu Heather Just Play Town Hall. The rest of this video is the replay of that town hall, and I wanted to share it here in case you missed the event, but also for those of you who consider yourself to be part of the Heather Just Play community, but you're not in our Discord server, which is no problem. I wanted you to be able to see this as well. So, in this town hall, I kind of share my thoughts, what I've been thinking about, and it really is kind of talking about my goal, which I hope will become our goal for Heather Just Play for the next 6 weeks. So from this coming Sunday, all the way up till the end of March, I am going to launch the new voyage that we're going on as a community, and it's called Operation Rising Tide, based off of the saying that a rising tide lifts all ships or boats or whatever it is. But I did kind of want to give you a TLDR and some context because it is a very long town hall. Feel free to watch it in 2x. As you'll see, I was very nervous. This is something that it was impromptu because I almost didn't do it, right? I almost talked myself out of it. And I think when you watch this, you'll see why. I'm doing something different, but it is something that I think is very important and is a worthwhile endeavor. And basically, the short of it is that I've been trying to think of what really makes this Heather Just Play community special. Now, if you are just watching on YouTube and maybe you haven't jumped into our Discord, maybe you have a different experience, but I hope that if you watch this and it resonates with you, that you can still participate and contribute in some way. If you watch this and you're like, what is this? It's not my jam. No worries. Feel free to unsubscribe and best of luck to you. But the reason why I decided to continue with sharing how I feel and being really transparent is because I do feel like the things that happen here with this community are very special and meaningful. And it's something that I want to dedicate myself to. But I think that these goals are all worth pursuing, and we can make more of an impact if we go together. That's my goal, right? So as you'll see in the rest of the video and what I talk about, the first part, I have a keynote presentation, and then I turn it over to kind of audience feedback and stuff like that. But for the next 6 weeks for Operation Rising Tide, basically what it is the goal is to create more opportunities for more magic for more people. What the heck is magic? For me, I feel like there's something about this community where I have seen so many people, but also including myself, including Tom, experience glimmers of personal growth, empowerment, being in a situation where you feel more confident in yourself, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, trying something new, all these things. The vehicle that we use is mainly Final Fantasy XIV. That does not discount the experiences that are happening that can translate into your in real life person, right? And the ripple effect that it would have in your lives. And as a YouTube creator, of course, I think of growth, I think of goal setting, I think of what is it that I'm trying to do here? And what I think the reason why I'm so, nervous about this goal is that it's very different. I've been doing YouTube for almost 10 years, and I feel like this is the perfect time to try something like this, where the thing that I want to aim for and optimize for is not more subscribers. It's not more money. It's not growing this YouTube channel, but it's creating more opportunities for more magic for more people. These opportunities where through Discord and Final Fantasy 14 and all the ways that we're able to connect online, you can experience meaningful growth that has an effect on you personally. It's meaningful, it's transformational, and I just wanted to encourage that. That's why there's a timeline on it. It's not like this is our new direction for the rest of time, but I'm just curious. I'm curious of like, what if not only me, but all of us, while we have this amazing time together, for whatever reason, we all got brought here together where we can all interact together here in this moment. And what if we focused on this, right? That's kind of where this is all coming from. So you'll hear me talk about it for 2 hours. If you have any questions, you could reach out to me on Discord. There is a link in the description to the Discord server, but I know some of you guys just are not about Discord, which I totally understand. I also find it so freaking frustrating. But what I will say is that if I find it frustrating, just know that there's no wrong way to approach like the Heather Just Play server, because I also we're still building it. We're still navigating it. So if you log in there for the first time, you're like, what is this? Don't be afraid to just put your message anywhere, right? Like, we'll figure it out. It's totally fine. But if you don't want to sign up for Discord, that's totally fine. I will be doing a YouTube community post and you can comment on there, or you can hit me up on Instagram at HeatherJustPlay. For the next 6 weeks, what I will be doing is sharing all the different ways that you can participate and contribute to Operation Rising Tide as YouTube community posts. So you will still have an avenue here on YouTube to be able to have access to those things. But yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll put out another video that's like more succinct, but I wanted to like have this replay available. Okay, I think that's enough of a TLDR. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. And with that said, enjoy the rest of the video. I am recording. I feel like most people are here, so we're just going to get started. Yay. Okay, so I've got my notes. I've got my things. I think we're good. Okay, let's kick it off. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very impromptu Heather Just Play Town Hall. I just want to say thank you so much for being here on such short notice. I apologize for the short notice. This will not be how it is moving forward, but I wanted to kick off a conversation that I feel like is going to last throughout the week, which is why I felt like, you know what, got to strike while iron's hot. Tomorrow I'm busy, so I couldn't even like give you 24 hours notice, but I figured I'm going to record this and I'll share the replay. I'll do a recap. And I think what we'll do is have a part 2 like towards the end of the week. So, I am recording just like locally on my end. So at the, second half of this, I'm going to invite you guys to share your input. Again, we're using the stage thing. So, if you don't want to do voice chat, you can totally just do the text chat like you guys are all doing now. But you won't be in the replay. You won't be in the recording because I'm not recording Discord. I'm recording just like my camera thing. So, when you jump into the stage, I will be repeating your question so that people on the replay can be like, what was asked, right? So that is that. Okay. So today, here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to share some of my thoughts. I wanted to talk about things I've been thinking about, and then of course, like, get your input. I'm going to spend, like, I have a keynote, so I'm going to share all of that to kind of like, I know I needed a keynote to have like some structure because I've had like 1,000 thoughts. But if you do have any feedback, thoughts of your own, input, ideas, etc., please don't forget it. I want to go through my whole thing first, and then I'm going to turn it over to all of you. So please, like, don't forget. It matters to me what you think, so don't forget, so that we can, like, still talk about it. Cool? Cool. All right. Why am I freaking nervous right now? Hold on, I need some water. All right, I'm also like, I have like snotty McSnots not happening. Okay, here we go. Whew. How HeatherJustPlay started. So when I kicked off HeatherJustPlay, re-kicked off in September, uh, you know, it really was just out of curiosity. It was Tom was starting Final Fantasy 14. I already had the gaming channel that had just been sitting there, and I was like, there's not really a good reason not to share this journey. And personally, what I was really looking for was an outlet that didn't feel as big. So I think some of you guys know this. I've been a content creator for 8 years, going on 9 years. So almost for the past decade, I've been a YouTube coach. I've worked with clients, and I've had like online courses and communities and mastermind groups and webinars and trainings and seminars in person, all this of helping people build YouTube channels, build businesses, build, ways to sell their services and products through YouTube. All of that feels massively big with lots of pressure. The idea of just like, I'm going to play video games and push record and like turn on the camera, but I'm just doing the thing that I would be doing anyway, whether the camera's on or off, was like awesome. It was just like, oh, this is the breath of fresh air that I feel like I kind of really need right now. Now, what I didn't expect was all this unexpected stuff to happen with HeatherJustPlay. We had our Discord server set up. We had Kraken's Call, our amazing free company. Met so many of you guys, such incredible people. And the thing that really sticks out to me is how naturally everything came together. Having built communities and being part of so many online communities, over the past 9 years, there really was something different to me with HeatherJustPlay and how naturally everything came together. I think there's a lot of things that any community has, but I feel like there was really something special about this community. Of course, all of you guys gave me a completely different Final Fantasy 14 experience, right? So if we start with the obvious, like you guys know, I played this game before, night and day difference. And like Tom and I talk about it all the time. Man, the way that you're going through 14 is like totally different from the way that I did it. I like the way I did it, but this is like awesome. This is really cool. So there's just something special here. But what I have been thinking about lately is like, what is that, right? Like, what is the special thing? And I've spent a lot of time thinking about it. What makes this community different? Like I woke up at 5:30. I was just like, what is it? It's like the first thought I had today. And the reason why I was thinking so deeply about it is because it is tied to what I do personally, right? Like, obviously, it's tied to my personal mission statement. Why am I investing my time, my creativity, my energy into this thing? I could be doing that in any other way with any other thing. What is it about this, right? So, yes, HeatherJustPlay allows me to express myself creatively. If I'm repeating myself, I apologize, but I'm also like recapping things from my other YouTube channels, my vlog channel, the couples table, all of that. So if you've heard me say this before, sorry. But Tom and I talk about all the time how I have this gift, right? Both of us have this like sense of awe and wonder for the world, but specifically for me, there's just something about like, I feel excitement really big, and that is infectious. Like people, that rubs off on people. Whether it's a hockey game, whether it's Final Fantasy 14, whether it's, I don't know, setting up game night or volunteering at the food bank or doing a leadership program or whatever, I like just make people feel really excited about things like seeing snow in Canada for the first time. And then a lot of Heather Just Play also plays to my strengths. So even in college, like, or, just throughout my life, I have found myself in the position of basically being the party host, right? Like, I really like organizing icebreakers and getting people to bond and connect. And, in college, I was like, I was in this co-ed fraternity where I know that sounds weird, co-ed fraternity, but it was community service based. So our pledging process was to do volunteering. I was the person who was coordinating with all the local nonprofits, 300 local nonprofits, to coordinate volunteering opportunities for the group, right? Like, I've always kind of been in that position. So there's a lot of Heather Just Play that kind of plays to my strengths. But the thing is, for me, I can get these things in different avenues, right? So it can't just be about like what I get out of it. There is obviously something beyond that is also keeping me here, that makes me want to come back. And that is true for you as well, because there are so many other Final Fantasy XIV communities. There's so many other gaming communities. There's so many other YouTube communities. There's so many other similar looking things, but for some reason you all choose to be here, right? So I was really trying to figure out like what makes this community different, right? Now, when I reflect on the past 4 months, here are the things that stick out to me. Well, here's Kraken's Call, right? So I created this charter because this is like what I was hoping what would set this community apart. But really, it was a chance, right? Like, I can say, hey, this is what we're about all day. But if you guys aren't on board, then it's just me, right? But I think for a lot of you, this thing was actually the thing that got you to sign up, right? And I think it's a lot of the reason why you continue to show up and be present and, participate, right? So what makes this community different? First of all, starting with the simple things, I think what's special about this community is it's not just like one-way communication. I think with YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that, it is a lot of like streamer to audience, and the audience is connecting based off what they are seeing and what is happening. But that's not how it is here. I know all of your names, right? Like, I know it's avatars, but still, like, I know all of your names. I know what all your characters look like. I even know your YouTube names if it's different. I have a personal connection with every single one of you. I have memories with all of you. That is not just like one way. It's not just like one way, right? There's also no ulterior motive aside from recreation. So a lot of the communities that I have been a part of in, over the past decade, there's some kind of expectation. There's some kind of thing that people try to get out of it. So, for example, it's, a community of content creators who are looking to grow their channel, get more subscribers, make more money with their online business, figure out how to do YouTube, figure out how to optimize and maximize and do all these things. They're at point A and they're signed up for a community to get to point B. That is the intention. Once you get to point B, you're done, right? Like, you don't need the community anymore. Here, there is no point B. Like, we're not trying to go anywhere, right? It is purely recreation, which means that if it's just recreation, you could do nothing and also get recreation. You can go watch TV. You can play. You can be in any other community. There's an infinite number of ways that you can pass the time and find recreation and have fun. But the point is, like, there is no expectation aside from recreation, right? I think this community also has the things, that make up other successful communities, like having shared goals, camaraderie, progress, accomplishment, victory, being a part of something that's bigger than yourself, being part of, being part of community. I think we have those things also, but that's like what else, right? There's something deeper. So here's what I dialed it down to. And I put little sparklies because to me, this is the magic. This is the thing that really sets us apart. So the first thing is the sandbox. What do I mean by sandbox? It is okay to mess up here. It is okay to, try approaching a situation in a certain way and then it's a mistake or you messed up, but it's all good. You could dust yourself off and no one has to take anything personally, right? I think this idea of the sandbox is the first thing that I consciously thought of when it came to HeatherJustPlay. Because when we were first starting Discord, I was totally new at this, and I have anxiety. I really care that everyone is happy, and I don't want to rock a boat. I want everyone to be happy. So the way that I approached HeatherJustPlay was, if like any other community, we had to kind of like sift the sand, iron out the kinks. That's par for the course for any community, for any new community, right? But when things came up, what I did was take the approach of like, let's not call anybody out. Let's be very vague of like, let's all be respectful and let's all, like whatever, let's not speak in these ways or whatever. And that is not effective. I found out, my officers, my mods were very like, you know what, I think we need to be more direct. And so maybe I messed up. But I learned, right? And everyone is still here. Everyone's still good. And we have like 3 more months of memories and events and all these exciting things that have happened since. I think a lot of people have had that experience. I can share this. Tom, 2 weeks ago, or last week, whatever, recently, was just not having a good day. He was just really stressed, whatever, didn't realize it, went, jumped in game to unwind. And he decided on that day he would try Gunbreaker for the first time. He's never played Gunbreaker. He's never played Tank. And we queued up for friggin' Castra Meridianum, blah, 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 Livia. And as soon as we logged in and there was like the alarm that's going off, and then he like tried to do the poll and I'm sitting right here and I'm like, you need to do this. You need to do this. And then like after that first mob, party members were like, hey, you should try this. Like, hey, there's this button, this, like, you should. Boom. Tom has an anxiety attack. He's just like, I'm out. I can't do this. Like, I'm freaking out. We had to like abandon the duty, quit the game, and like deal. And then after he cooled off, came back online, apologized, cleared the air, and we went back in to that same party, and everything is good. Everything's totally fine. This like sandbox where it is okay to mess up is so rare. Like, I think this type of thing as an adult where I think fear is what holds a lot of us back, right? From putting ourselves out there, from pushing ourselves out of the comfort zone because we are afraid of being judged or whatever, messing up or saying the wrong thing. Here, it's okay. And I think that's awesome. It's cool that that exists. And it's happened to both me, Tom, and I think many of you. Empowerment. So giving yourself the chance to try something new or different. I can't tell you how many times, how many of you guys have told me, have shared with me through Discord, through YouTube comments, through Instagram comments, through messages of like, I never thought I would do group content. I've never signed up for Discord. I've never been a part of something like this. I've never tried other classes. I've never done PvP. I've never done housing. I've never, taken charge of something. I've always been the person who's a wallflower. I've always been the person who, I don't do these things. Yet, you try here. I don't know, I'm crying. I think that's really cool and special. I know I'm crying. It matters to me. It matters that you have these things, that these things happen. Woo! I'm tired. I'm intentionally blocking the chat because I don't want to see it. Why am I so like right now? I don't know. Am I making sense? Okay. Woo! Let me compose. Okay. Anyway, just because it's not happening to me, my point is like, when you share those things with me, okay, I have to like hold on, or I'm just gonna. Right. It matters to me, meaningful to me. I think it's awesome. People can say it's just Final Fantasy, it's just video games, it's just. But I know how meaningful it is. I know what it's like to feel like you don't have a purpose, and then there's this thing that lights you up and makes you feel inspired to try something different. It is insanely hard to change. If it were easy, we'd all have like 6-packs and like be in the best shape of our lives and, you know, be bajillionaires if it was so easy to change. It is hard, right? And the fact that for some reason HeatherJustPlay has the environment where you can feel little aspects of empowerment and, I don't know, an environment where you can mess up and it's okay. You don't break anything. No one is pissed. Like, yes, we're all going to be human and maybe be upset about it for a day, but I think everyone who is here is on board with these things. Oh my God. I didn't expect to go there. I don't know. Anyway, let me keep going. The sense of adventure, wonder, joy, and exploration. Yes, in game. Obviously, like we are playing a fantasy game that's all about adventure, but I do feel like that translates into, hey, we're going to, you know, plan I don't know, whatever, some kind of in-game event. What does that look like? That is also an adventure, right? Like, and that coordination, that getting a group of people together to try to accomplish a goal, you know, that's meaningful, right? And I think that sense of exploration of like, we're on this journey, we're all gonna, I don't know, it's not about like the destination, right? It really is about like, I don't really care where we end up going. But the important part is that we're all in it together, right? I think being aware of that and not dismissing it, like not minimizing it, and if anything, embracing it, also makes this community special. No shooting. So I think this is like something that as adults in 2025 is just normal for us to do. It's very, I mean, gosh, as a YouTube creator, people will tell you should all day, but this is relevant to like anybody, any adult. You guys have been shoulded. Everybody has been shoulded. You should do this. You should do this. You should do this, right? Here, there's no shoulding, right? Yes, there are definitely ways that like, you know, we can do things, I don't know, better, but I don't think that has ever held us back from trying, right? Which goes back to that sandbox of like, it's okay. Like it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like everything is like all the boxes are checked. We have a plan A, we have a plan B. How many times, you know, like just what was it that we were doing for the trial, the 5.3 trial? I won't do spoilers, but the 5.3 trial we just did on Sunday. I felt so freaking bad because I people had signed up. I put you guys in the wheel of names, and then like, I don't know, something about there were too many people, and then I think not everyone got to go. And I felt so bad because it's like, you guys are carving out your time. You could be doing anything else. You could be on your own home servers, but you came over here and now you're not even a thing, right? So I feel bad, right? But like, you're still here, right? So I don't think, for some reason, it's okay here. All of this is transferable to in real life personal growth. And it can have a ripple effect in your life. And I know this because it's happening to me. It's happening to Tom. So many of you have sent me messages of, things like this. If something about like partying with us or participating in an event or, whatever, doing an event here or whatever makes you happy, you are going to continue to be happy when you log off, right? Like that happiness doesn't disappear when you are not like doing this, right? Just like if you feel empowered to try something different, to maybe take leadership on something that you wouldn't otherwise do before, it's not something you've ever done, maybe that little bit of self-confidence can translate into other things in your life. I don't know. But I think it's possible. I believe that it is possible. And I think that's very powerful and very special. And it all comes down to this. It's really hard to find all of this as adults. I think college is like perfectly set up for it. As kids, you have your whole world is this, right? And then when you turn into adult, it's up to you, right? You have to go out of your way to find it. I met my husband on YouTube, right? Like there was no way that we were ever gonna meet. So I totally believe in the genuine connection that you can make with people all around the world through online, right? And because to me, all of these things, right? Like this magic part, all these little sparkly things, to me, all of these things matter. And in a world of bad news and negativity and AI and just like one disaster after another, I truly believe that this community and everything that makes it special should exist in the world. I think it is important, even if it's just whatever, the 100 people that are in this Discord server or however many people, are active on the YouTube channel. I feel like this should exist in the world. I think it makes the world a better place. The end. Just kidding. Oh my God. Why right now? I'm just tired. That's what it is. Anyway, I say all this to show you that there is no Final Fantasy 14 on this slide. I think Final Fantasy 14 is an awesome vehicle to be able to do all these things. But at the end of the day, we're like not the best Final Fantasy 14 community. There are way more other successful streamers out there and content creators and other 14 communities that are way more established, way more optimized, all those things. But you all choose to be here. Even when we're doing it all wrong, right? You're still here. And that means something to me. And that's why I've been thinking about this so much. So, what now? Why bring this up? Why am I thinking about it? Why? Like, who cares, right? Like, what's the point? And I think the point is that I want to try to get to is now that I've identified what I think makes this community really, really special, and just so happens that the vehicle is Final Fantasy 14, video games, these things that we have in common, I want to try to chart a new course for the next 6 weeks. So, for the next 6 weeks, starting next week to the end of March, here's what I want to try to do. So I don't think that this is so much of a thing right now, but this is how it started. And so I want to kind of just address it. I want to shift away from a foundation of like streamer to audience, right? I want to just like, yes, that's probably how you came in. You probably came in because I'm Heather of HeatherJustPlay. I have a Discord server. You sign up. Right. But I want to shift away from that and instead focus on creating more of these opportunities for more magic for more people. Right? So going back to the sparkly sparks here. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Well, actually, doing this will give me a chance to look at my notes to make sure. Why did I get so heavy there for a second? Sorry. I want to try to create more of this magic for more people more often here, right? That's what I want to do. Yes, we're going to use 14 to do that. But this to me is the goal, and I want it to be the goal for the next 6 weeks. Okay. So, what does that look like? The one thing I do want to say is that, like, I know that my participation, like, yeah, I can say it's not streamer to audience all day, but at the end of the day, I am Heather of HeatherJustPlay. I know that I have the streamer card. I know that Tom also has a streamer card. I know that our presence changes the experience, right? And I'm aware of that. And Tom and I still have our plans to do MSQ discussions and, the sorrows of Wordlit and all those things. Like, we have a list. We're still going to do those things. But what I want to try to do is give you guys more of these opportunities to not only give you a chance to step into a leadership role, but to also like not have to wait for us, not have to wait for me and Tom in order for this magic to happen. Because if it's all on me, right? Like if it's just like based on whether I feel it that day or whatever, like it's going to take a really long time for us to build momentum, right? And so that's why, again, like having this 6-week deadline means that you are not signing up for something that like, is just going to go on forever for the next 5 years. No, like it's just to the end of March, right? So there's a clear deadline. You have set parameters. And I want to give as many opportunities as possible to everybody. So let me break down what that looks like. Oh, yeah. Also, what this is going to end up looking like is probably more Final Fantasy 14 events, more Discord events. That's all it ends up being, right? But again, the difference is that you guys know about the magic, right? Like, this is why I'm having this town hall. This is why I'm being transparent. This is why I'm telling you what I think, why I think this community is different, what I think makes it different, why it matters, right? Because on paper, it's the same. It's the same as any other community. We have an ocean fishing event. It's the same. But the intent is different, right? An ocean fishing event is just an ocean fishing event. Cool. Jump in the party, blah, blah, blah. But each thing contributes to this bigger vision, right? Each thing contributes to all of these things that I feel like matters. Now, does that mean that when you step into a leadership role to like lead the fishing event that you need to like carry these super noble goals and stuff? No, you're already doing that by being here. I think like if you didn't vibe here, you would just leave, right? Like you wouldn't even have to make a declaration about it. That's how it is with, I think, as mature adults when it comes to recreation. If you're not into something, you just don't turn on the game. You just walk away. You don't go to the next event. I think some people will throw a fit and, announce their exit, like the airport and all that. But I think for most adults, it's just like, it just kind of fizzles out, right? Yeah, I don't even know what I was saying. Okay. So here's what we have. Let me break down what we have right now. here's our existing crew. So we have our Discord mods. Their role is to enforce the rules and guidelines that we have in Discord. We have our YouTube mods, and their role is to enforce the rules and guidelines on YouTube. We have our Kraken's Call officers. To me, their role is to make sure that the events that we have are upholding the mission statement, right? If you go to krakenscall.com, the charter, like they make sure that each event is upholding those values of camaraderie and teamwork and respect and, being beginner friendly and all those things. We also have our Discord server, which frustrates me sometimes, but it's what we have. I'm going to create a Google Calendar. So I foresee the next 6 weeks to be very event heavy. Obviously, you don't have to go to everything, but I want there to be things happening. And I, if possible, don't want things to overlap. So I'm going to make a Google Calendar, and we're going to, I found a bot that I think is going to be able to sync it so it shows up in Discord, whatever. I'm trying to make Discord a little bit more organized in the way that my brain works. It's very difficult, though. And then we also have our website, which is krakenscall.com, which is right now just a standalone landing page, basically. But I do have the capability to, build a whole thing. So if we want to embed the calendar, if we want to do, share the screenshots that we take from our events on there or whatever, I'm open. Now, let's talk about ideas. These are the ideas that have been, we've talked about on streams. People have suggested them. Some of the ideas I came up with. I'm also open to whatever, right? But these are just the ones that I wrote down. So Marky Mark's already doing Sprout to Ultimate. And honestly, I do want to shout out Marky Mark because the way that he organized this event is totally in line with everything, right? He shared the Kraken's Call mission statement. He made sure that if we were recruiting somebody who wasn't in HeatherJustPlay, that they were on board with all of those things. Then they can sign up for the Discord. I really want to lead with the values first, and then Final Fantasy 14, and then the video games, and then everything else. I really do want to make sure that the thing that differentiates us from other servers and communities that look similar is the magic, right? Fishing. So I talked about on, sometime this weekend that I wanted to fill out the fishing log. Someone here hasn't done ocean fishing yet. I can't remember. Fishing. So fishing is a good way to kind of explain what I'm thinking, right? I would like, if possible, 2 people to take the lead on organizing the fishing endeavor for the next 6 weeks. What does that look like? It could look like 1 day of fishing, and that's it. It could look like 6 weekly, a weekly event for all 6 weeks where you go ocean fishing or you try to fill out the fishing log. Maybe it's we just start on page 1 of the fishing log and you do a 1-hour event where you just make progress. And then that way it's if someone isn't there on event number 1, that's okay. They can just pick up on event number 3 and they haven't missed anything, right? It doesn't have to be done in order, unlike the Sprout to Ultimate thing. It can look like whatever you want it to look like. That's where you can take ownership and brainstorm and do it however you want to do it. That's up to you. I just want something, right? I want there to be something, because I think when it comes to providing the more opportunities, I like the idea of diversity. I like the idea of, look, we've got the Sprout to Ultimate. If you want to do more of the, the extremes, the unreals, all those things, but we also have things that are just fishing. I can see Tom signing up for the fishing and not signing up for the thing. Does it mean one event is better than the other? The idea is that we have events that play to different interests, right? So anybody can find an opportunity to feel that magic depending on their interests. There's the Blue Mage spells that we've talked about that so much. let's take a day or multiple days or whatever to get the blue mage spells. Maps is always something that we could do. PvP has been something that we have tried out, and that's been really fun. Class 101s. So this is what I call it, but you can call it whatever you want. There are a couple of you guys in here that you've mastered every single Final Fantasy 14 class. You can play this thing like the back of your hand and you're, the best at it. Cool. It's really hard to be, when it comes to like teaching how to do a class or teaching how to play the game or, teaching anything really, right? When the person who is being taught is in the mindset of like, today I'm going to learn something, they're more open to learning versus like when they're just trying to do a thing. I'll use an example that Tom likes to talk about all the time. So as you guys know, he recently learned how to play goalie in hockey. And he would go to open skate sessions at our local rink where he was, it's just open skate. So anybody can skate however. So he'd put on all his goalie gear and he would practice stopping and blocking and all of that. And somebody, she's awesome, and I know she means well, would go to Tom and tell him, like, you need to do this. Like, this is how you do it. Imagine, like, this. And, like, you should, right? But Tom goes in with he does research, watches YouTube videos, and does research on, like, this is what I'm going to work on today. It's the same thing, like, if you go to the gym, hey, I'm doing leg day today, and then some person comes up to you and starts correcting your form and whatever. Like, okay, I know you're trying to be helpful, but like I've got my thing that I want to do, right? Versus when you go to hockey class, yes, tell me all the things, right? So, class 101s. Let's talk about like want to learn how to play ninja. I don't know anything about ninja. I just know that a bunny appears on your head if you mess up the combo or whatever. Cool. One of you guys, two of you guys can do a Discord event where we talk about all the basics, right? Here's what to expect from level 1 to level 30. Here's what to expect from 30 to 50. Like, here's how you can, play it well. Or, tank tactics, advanced, right? And then we can get into more advanced things or whatever. I'm never going to be able to lead that event. That's all you guys. And I am willing to bet that a lot of people would sign up for those things because everyone here wants to do better. We all want to learn, right? And if there is an opportunity to do that, I will ask all the questions, right? I know not everyone wants to ask the questions. I'll ask the questions. So I'll go in there, and if I have the question, somebody else has the question. And now everyone has learned something, has felt empowered, has, not felt dumb for doing it wrong, et cetera, right? Lore discussions. I put this on here because I want to be a part of it. But like, some of you guys really know the lore when it comes to Final Fantasy 14. I don't know what this looks like. It's up to you, right? Like, I have all 3 Encyclopedia Eorzeas, whatever. You could watch videos. You can, we could talk about the lore with the Realm Reborn. You could talk the lore Heaven's Ward. You could do one expansion every week for the next 6 weeks. Whatever. I'm just ideas, right? Ideas. And yeah. Anyway. Icebreakers. So I just put icebreakers. These are non-Final Fantasy 14 things. For example, I don't know if any of you guys are watching Severance. Tom and I are not caught up, so no spoilers. We're on the 2nd episode, I believe. But hey, we could do like discussion parties about our favorite TV shows that are on right now. We can do an anime talk. I know some of you guys like D&D. We can do that, or tabletop RPGs, or game night, or I don't know, painting. Like, I don't care, right? If you're here, I think that you're open, right? I think the whole point, like the way that I imagine it is like, imagine that we had a physical space, like a college commons. We just go in and be like, hey, have you heard this new song? It's really cool. I think you'll like it. Awesome. Have you tried this food? Cool. Here, I think you would think it was awesome. That, right? Like, I'm open to it all. If like, Avi wants to teach how to play guitar, cool. You know, like whatever your interest is here, I think that everyone is open to it. Cool. Oh, historians. The other thing about magic, what's cool about the magic, right? What's cool about empowerment and things like joy and excitement and happiness and all these things that you cannot measure, but you just feel, when you recall them, you feel all those things again, even if you weren't there, right? So if I tell you about my trip to Canada and how magical it was to see falling snow for the first time, you're going to imagine what that looked like for me and how I felt about it. And if I really described it to you, like, it was so cool. It was dizzying to see all the snow for miles. Like, I can't believe how soft it was and all these things. Like, you're going to think about that, right? And like, when you see my excitement, you're going to feel that same excitement. This was my intention with a community highlights board. But again, like, if it's all on me, it's going to be really hard to build momentum. So what I would love to do, if possible, is have 2 historians for the next 6 weeks that can kind of, I don't know how, right? This is where you guys can get creative, could capture the essence of these different events that are happening, whether it's in the community highlights board or we start a new channel, or you want me to make a YouTube video and you're in it, or whatever, you collect screenshots, whatever it is. I want to capture this magic as much as possible and create something out of it, preserve it, so that whenever we revisit it, we can recall that same magic. I think it makes it all, I think it makes the experience more meaningful, even if it's in the past. Yeah, so 2 leaders for each adventure. That's not a requirement. I just think that if, you know, I think it makes it more fun when you're working with someone else, but I also know that not everyone, I think all of you guys, for the most part, 99% of you guys are all strangers, right? Like, me and Tom know each other. I think a few of you guys have pulled in friends from other servers or whatever, but I think for the most part, everyone is meeting everyone for the first time. So I totally understand that it's going to be a little weird to, you know, be a leader with someone that you don't know. But my intention here with saying 2 leaders is that I think it takes away the pressure, right? So it's not just all on you. If life happens or something comes up, there is someone who can cover. But also, I think like being able to bounce ideas off of someone, like, that kind of also is magic in itself. Seeing what you guys come up with, I think like it also is really cool to like, I know for me, I can put a lot of pressure on myself in terms of like, oh, I want everything to be perfect, but then there is no perfect, right? Like, when if I strived for perfect, I wouldn't be doing this event right now because it's not perfect. I only practiced it once and then started crying. But like, I think if it's one person, there's a lot of pressure and then you put a lot of expectation on yourself. If it's 2 people, what you guys can create together could be way better than you could have imagined individually, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be hard 2. Maybe it's 3, but or maybe it's just the 1. But I do think that like, if one of you guys who's in Japan and then one of you guys who's on the East Coast want to just like, you know, both express interest in this thing, that would be cool, right? I think it's another opportunity for you to do something different. This is also this is actually a hard requirement. So I want at least 1 Kraken's Call officer present at every single thing if possible. I think there's enough of I'm including myself as well. So I want to go to everything. I will try to go everything. But if I can't be there, I would like for 1 of the Kraken's Call officers to be present. I think, you know, I've had the privilege to get to know the Kraken's Call officers. Actually, I can even throw this out to the YouTube mods and the Discord mods. But I've had a chance to get to know the officers and the mods on a different level, which has been awesome. And I think like I am confident that they understand this whole magic vision thing, right? Like, I think I can say that all of them understand that bigger picture. And so I just want to make sure that there's someone there just making sure that that's happening. There you go. And then try not to overlap events. So, yeah, I want events. I want there to be events, but I definitely don't want it to be like, now it's like a college class schedule of just like too many things happening. Which is why I'm going to create that Google Calendar so we can, kind of zoom out and see everything. Is this my last slide? That was my last slide, guys. So let me just check my notes to make sure I said everything. Oh yeah, so basically, like, I think I said this already, but even if it's just a fishing event, even if it's just like something that's on the surface so insignificant, I hope you know I'm having this town hall. I'm being really transparent and I'm sharing all this because I want you to know that has a lot of meaning for me. And I also think it has a lot of meaning for a lot of people. They might not express it, right? They might be shyer or introverted or quiet, but you don't know what is behind that thank you. You could be the highlight of someone's day, even if it's just a fishing event, even if it's just PvP, even if it's just maps. I mean, I think to all of us that spent Thanksgiving together, like we definitely on that day could be doing anything else. But instead, what are we doing? We're doing treasure maps and talking about something that we're thankful for before we jump in the portal. That's this group. That's us. I think like, I don't know, there's just something special. And my whole point in having this town hall is I just want to experiment for 6 weeks. What if instead of me approaching HeatherJustPlay with like YouTube and like, do I stream 5.3 and try to get all this like engagement? Like instead of thinking about that, what if I focused on the magic, right? Like, not what if we focused on creating more opportunities for you guys to try something different, try something new, give yourself the chance to get out of your comfort zone and make these like, I don't know, have these transformational moments. To me, that is a worthwhile endeavor that I want to pursue. And I hope you guys do too. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Oh my god, I talked for an hour. I'm so sorry. I will pass it to you guys after this. I'm not gonna take any names right now because I want you to think about it, right? Like, think about everything I said. Have it, like, sleep on it, right? I think for any decision, you should take 24 hours and think about it. Think about it. And then I think what we're going to do, because the 6 weeks is going to start next week, right? And that'll take us to the end of March. Let's just see. Okay, so I'm going to put out this replay. I'm going to do a recap so that other people who are not here right now also have the opportunity to step up and volunteer for a thing if they want. But also, this isn't just about leadership, right? It's not about necessarily like just being in charge of an event or something. It's also like participation, right? Like you showing up and participating. Just know that whoever is leading that event, it might be their first time leading period, leading anything or leading this type of event. Or, maybe one of you guys are here and you're like, oh my God, I'm on board. And now like you're carrying that energy into the thing that you're going to coordinate. So by you showing up, like you are also giving so much meaning to that person. It matters that you're there, right? So even if you don't say yes or volunteer for a thing, I just wanted everyone to know the context or the deeper thing that's happening. If that makes sense. Okay. I think I'm going to get too esoteric, which I don't want to do. And I think that's it. So I see 114 new messages in the chat, and I'm a little nervous to look. But here's what I'm going to do. I am going to open this stage. So I will read this chat. I'll catch up like after the event is over. So right from this moment on, if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, if you have anything that you want me to highlight as part of this replay, let's start from this point on. And like, even if you have to retype your thing that you asked, I'm also going to let you jump on stage. So if you want to share anything through the voice chat, you can do that also. Let me move this over here. Okay, cool. But if you don't want to jump on the stage, that's cool too, because I know that can be intimidating. It got really quiet. Oh, I didn't expect it to be that way, but okay. I see Fevra says, thank you, Heather. Thank you. We love you, Heather. Take care of yourself. Thank you for everything. Yeah. Okay. So, Kay is driving. Do you guys have any questions? This makes sense. Does everyone get it? Arcana, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna invite Arcana to the stage, and then if you have a question, I have to repeat it because you're not in the recording. So go ahead. Okay, so for the recording, Arcana said a lot of nice things. Didn't have a question, but was expressing her gratitude for the authenticity, the vulnerability, and the magic of this community. So thank you. Does anyone else want to jump on stage? Okay, Avi's summarizing TLDR, more events about anything you want. Keep the magic alive. Love one another. Cirilla says this absolutely makes sense. I'm really looking forward to this. Fevra says it makes so much sense. I seriously feel like I know exactly where you're coming from. Yeah. Okay, Brutality is saying I had to step away, so I'm a little confused about the 6 weeks. So, okay. For the 6 weeks, the reason why it's 6 weeks is because I felt like that was a good timeline of long enough to matter, but short enough where it doesn't feel like you're signing up for this giant endless thing, right? When there is no deadline on something, it can feel like it's hard to, there's no sense of urgency, right? And then you just keep pushing it off. And I feel like that's kind of like one of the impetus things for me to even have this town hall in the first place, is because I felt like if it's all on me, there's never going to be momentum, because it's not that I don't care, but it's like I have so many ideas, and if events don't happen unless I'm there, like I can only go so far, you know? And so the 6 weeks allows all of us to be on the same page in terms of like, this is what the Heather Just Play community is focusing on right now. And when you sign up to volunteer for, say, like PvP, right? Like you and a buddy can sign up to coordinate doing front lines or the frontline roulette or whatever, or PvP or whatever. You can have the parameters and the boundaries of how are you going to coordinate that? What is that going to look like? But you have a 6-week time frame, right? So it's not just like you're coordinating PvP events till the end of time. No, you're just doing it for the next 6 weeks. Now, what does that look like? Is that one PvP event? Is that one a week for 6 weeks? Up to you. That's where you can, that's where your brainstorming comes in. I'm open. The only thing, again, is that we want to make sure there's either a mod or an officer there, and that we try not to overlap events. I got to get you the Google Calendar as soon as possible so you can look. But that's where the 6 weeks comes from. After the 6 weeks, what does it look like after? We'll reevaluate, right? Let's do another town hall, and then maybe that'll be quarter 2, and we could think about, I was going to say this is a quarter 1, but we're already February 11th. So instead of quarter 1, it's just 6 weeks. But then for quarter 2, April, May, June, we can do a 3-month thing instead. And then we can, I don't know, we'll figure it out from there. We'll do another town hall. Okay. Let me see. Say I feel so at home here. Okay, Cirilla has a question from earlier in the call. Next town hall, would people be down for doing this with our characters chilling in the downstairs area of the FC house? Would love to see our characters sitting for the town hall and Oliver talking on stage. Oh, I'm totally down. Yeah. Let's do that. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to let everyone sit on it. I'm going to share the replay, do the recap. Let's plan on Friday for a town hall part 2 to kind of just, I don't know, circle back, right? I think the way that I'm going to do this for now is I want 24 hours, right? Sleep on it. Think about it. And then if you have interest, I don't know, reach out to somebody, right? Like if there's somebody that you just remember, this is a safe space to mess up, okay? Reach out to somebody. Don't be afraid. I'm giving you the permission to do that, and I hope everyone would give each other permission as well. You don't take the rejection personally, like it's all good, right? So you can reach out to me, and I'm happy to chat more. If you have somebody in mind that you want to work with, reach out to them, right? But tell me what you're thinking. Share it in the general chat. Share it in the 14 chat. I look at everything. I know, I'm telling you, the Discord server kind of, I never know. You know how you guys express how you don't know how to find anything? I also don't know how to find everything. The only way I know how to go, find things is to go through everything. Maybe what we could do is have a forum. I don't know. However you guys want to do it, right? But just put it somewhere. And then just see what the response is. Okay. Does that make sense? So I guess the thing that I would need to know before Friday is if 7 people want to coordinate, want to step up to lead the fishing venture, that's a lot of people. So I feel like that's where we can kind of, I don't know, discuss further. But give me a heads up if you are interested in either any of those ideas I listed, or if you have an idea of your own that was not listed, or that you think would be cool. Okay, cool. Let's see, Fevra. I've never felt there was a streamer, viewer, or whatnot in a good way. I wish I could remember how I found you all, either Instagram or YouTube thing, but either way, it just felt good and friendly. I know I'm not saying anything crazy, but just want to say, I hope you don't feel like we felt that way. Thank you, Fevra. I appreciate that. Also, another silly thing. I'm in a large Discord server, 2,000 people online usually. I'm not after likes or clout, blah, blah, blah. But I'll say I love posting a pic and screenshots here, as it feels like somebody get a kick of it. Yes, okay, Fevra, you are the master G-poser here. You know what? You know what would be a great event, Fevra? A G-pose event, right? You could do G-pose tutorial, because the way that you do it really looks awesome. I know it's the composition. I know all that, and to you it might be simple, but sharing that process, I'm sure so many people here would be totally on board to just see how you do it. Let's see. It feels so many get a kick out of it in that big chat. No one reacts or anything, but many people do here, so it's just so inviting. I don't want anyone to feel like they had to be there or Heather or Tom had to be included. We always want things to be open and inclusive. A few of us are here. Oh, you guys are awesome. Sorry I didn't, next time. A convocation of the KC. I like the idea of making a new forum channel and each person doing a thing can make their own thread. Okay, maybe that's what we do. My ADHD brain tends to like the forum format better than the open channel format, because I can't find anything in just the stream of consciousness channel. But when things are organized into topics and I can put it in gallery view, I can find things. So maybe that's what we did. Did you list Eureka? I did not. But if you want to take charge, that's definitely, that is Eureka and Boja. Boja are on our ideas list. I just didn't put it there for some reason. Let me see. Maker and Geek. I'm a D&D RPG person, but haven't installed 14 yet and still need to figure out how to get started. Nervous to be such a noob and not leveled up to be helpful. Maker and Geek, guess what? You found the perfect opportunity to start at level 1 with. All of us here would be happy to help you figure all that out. We will walk you through. So you're in the right place. Oh yeah, Arcana, if you want to, I don't want to, how do I I don't want to kick you out. Move to audience. There you go. Okay, does anyone else want to step on stage to share? You can raise your hand, or you know what? I'm 17 messages behind, so maybe some of you guys already said that. Let me see. Fevra says, I love groups for deep dungeons or Eureka Boja. I have no idea what I'm doing with those. Agreed. Same here. I would love to do one of the deep dungeons as well. I noticed a lack of RP in the list, says Tanail. Well, that's because I kind of already figured you were going to do it. But if you want to, like, you know, so Tin has her weekly RP venue, but you can do a different thing. Like, you can do like basics of role playing in the Discord, like in a Discord voice chat, and then like everyone can go to the Starlight Lounge on like the following Sunday or something. Okay. Arrowell, my new job has had me working on California. Tom got out late, had to make dinner. No worries. I will post this. I don't know if I'm going to make this a public video. I can't decide, but I think of people like Gma who are not in Discord. That's the other thing to keep in mind is like, I know we have Discord. There are just some people who are not going to come over to Discord, but I do want to open it to the HeatherJustPlay community. So I think that's like one of the reasons behind doing the Google Calendar is because what I plan to do is do YouTube community posts and just kind of share like, here's, you know, the events happening in the next 7 days. You don't have to be part of Kraken's call. You don't have to be part of the Discord server, but if you're on board with HeatherJustPlay, we'd love to have you. And then you could RSVP through Google Calendar or whatever. Let me see. Let's see. Eddie says, the nice thing about a majority of the community is that we love to help noobs because that's how we get to share and give back to this game and adventure that has given us so much. This particular community is super amazing and helping. I want glowy armor. If anyone wants glowy armor too, I don't know what I'm doing either, but can watch guys and we can figure it out. Glams, you know, if you guys want to do a whole like glam event, that'd be cool. I'm down to be a player for D&D. I would like to learn roleplay, but I feel like I'm bad at it and it's awkward, but I would love to do it if that makes sense. Okay, so this comment, I'm bad at it and it's awkward. I would love to do it if that makes sense. This sentiment is true across the board for everything, for every adult. We are awkward. We don't know what the hell we're doing. And that's the magic about HeatherJustPlay, right? This environment is where you can show up awkward and it's okay, right? Like you can be a total noob and it's okay. There are people who like, I guess that's the whole point. I want to foster that. I want to cultivate that. Like it is okay to mess up and be awkward and figure it out here. Cool. Avi says, my only worry is gonna be, I want to be a part of everything. I have serious FOMO because I really love everything with you guys, but I can't be everywhere at once. And I'm sure it'll get packed if there's tons of events. Same, right? I want to be at everything also. But I think part of like personally is I also want to see, I don't want to be a necessary part of the magic to happen, if that makes sense. Again, I understand like what me being there means, but also like Marky Mark doing the ultimate thing. Like, you guys are doing that without me, and you're gonna have a ton of fun anyway, right? So, I know that probably doesn't address what you are saying, Avi, but that's where I'm coming from with like wanting to go to every single thing. I don't want to hold anyone back. Like, you can do, like, you can all feel these things whether I'm there or not. That makes sense. I do want to go to everything. Let's see. Let's see. Cirilla says, I vote for making the video public. Your honesty and vulnerability is what makes you a fantastic creator. I think this stream made public would be received positively. Yeah, if we get a group thing going, you should join. There really isn't anything wrong. No one should make fun of you. Favre went to Tinny's RP venue and had fun. Yay. I'm just speaking personally here. I'm always like, oh, it's so cool they did that, but then I feel a little pang of, man, I wish I was there. I missed out. No, I get it. I know, Avi. I know you are such a big part of the magic that has happened so far, and I know, I think this goes for everybody. This community is so much of like, you get out of it what you put into it. So, Avi is definitely somebody who puts a lot into it, which is so nice and awesome. And I know that you just want to be at everything, because so do I. So does anyone have any other, I don't want to keep you all night. Does anyone have any other questions? You want to bounce ideas? I got, I'm open. You want to jump on stage, share things, chat, whatever. Let's see. Tin was going to get on stage, but I was just going to say things Heather already said, including the tears. Well, you know what? Honestly, like, if you're just repeating, I think, like, I also, so you know how, like, I'm vulnerable. I'm not saying that you need to be, but, like, it means a lot to me to hear your feedback, right? Like, I can't come to these conclusions. I can't think of these things if I don't have feedback. Like, if it's just me talking to a void, then it's just like, that's it, right? But I pick up on it, right? Like, I feel the things, but you have to like share it with me. Not to put you on the spot or anything, but let's see. Kay says, the problem with me RPing is I don't know what to dress up, especially my glams are always lame, and also how to use the different chat like you guys did before. I have zero clue about it, so I'm actually kind of backed out for that, but I would love to come up there, but I'll be home around 10 minutes. Okay, Kay, I'll wait for you for 10 minutes. No worries. And the thing with RP, actually, here, let me just set the precedent, right, for the next 6 weeks. One of the things is I want there to be, there's no right or wrong way, okay? Like, I really want to emphasize that. Like, it goes back to, like, it is okay to do it wrong, okay? I think, like, when you do it wrong over and over again, you will learn to do it right. But you have to be okay with doing it wrong first. And so if we take away the fear of not doing it perfect or doing it right, or, whatever expectation, if you take that away, then you are open to eventually getting there, right? But I think it's the like, that thing that you're scared of. I want to put the precedent, like, let's all try to be open-minded. Let's all try to recognize that, like, this is all very special and important to us and meaningful for us on a very deep level that goes beyond just, like, the internet dragons, right? Okay. Don't let Tin on stage, please. Let's see. Favre says, I feel bad I'm not actually in Kraken's call, but I'm talking too much. Okay, so here's another thing. Here's another rule, okay? You do not have to be in Kraken's call to participate in HeatherJustPlay events. Period. Hard stop. Okay. Again, I've said this many times. The only reason why Tom and I created Kraken's Call was because, well, first of all, we would have created our own free company with just the two of us anyway. It made sense for us to have a free company. Like, it just made sense. That does not mean, like, Avi, okay? One of our officers, Kraken's Call officers, his main is not in Kraken's Call, right? Like, you don't have to transfer servers. You don't have to be in our free company. You don't have to be part of Kraken's Call. It is just there for anybody who doesn't have anybody to play with. So, who was it? It was Maker and Geek. Okay, so Maker and Geek hasn't even installed the game yet. Probably you don't have anybody to play with. So you can join us on Dynamis Kraken and join our free company, right? It's for the people who didn't have anybody to play with. HeatherJustPlay events, whether they're Kraken's Call or not, are open to anybody who's on board with the HeatherJustPlay vibe and magic, right? That's why I want to share it on YouTube as well, because, you know, everyone here who's in Discord, like even Tom, right? He's in Discord, but never checks it, right? So obviously it's not like I want to exclude him or that he is excluded because he's not an active participant in Discord. If Discord works for you, great. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean, you know, that you are not, it can't be included, right? If you're not in Kraken's Call, that doesn't mean that you can't be included. It's open to everybody. I want to emphasize that because that's, I don't want anybody to feel like they have to earn something in order to participate. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Arcana, I have a question for the fishing. Would a field trip to the Eorzean Aquarium count? Yes. So I think it was 8-Bit who told us about the Eorzean Aquarium. That sounds awesome. And yeah, if so, totally open to everything, right? You can do anything. That is great. I think like the thought I'm having right now is I don't know if I want like I think it was somebody asked about the 6 weeks thing. I think the difference between like, you know, if Arcana, you wanted to coordinate a field trip, one-time event to the Eorzea Aquarium, does that mean that you are in charge of planning all fishing events for the next 6 weeks? I don't think that, I think those things can be separate. If you want to, cool. But I think I'm just kind of like open. So maybe how I should phrase it is like, if you want to be in charge of, say, an ongoing project for 6 weeks, right? Where like, I'm just using fishing because it's like the very simplistic example, where you're going to be the resident or the fishing officer, whatever. Then you can be in charge of coordinating however you want it to look like, whether it's like field trips to the aquarium, ocean fishing, the fishing log, unlocking cloud fishing. You could do 1 event, 2 events, 3 events, however many events. You can do it on your own time zone, whatever works for you, all that. So it's a longer thing. But if there are people who want to do just the one-time roleplay event and you want to be in charge of that, or the one time, like Fevra, if you want to just do the one time, I'm going to do a, you know, how to G pose like me one-time event, that's cool too. So maybe the way that I should phrase it is like, for the next six weeks in general, I want to try to focus on creating more opportunities for more magic for more people. Yes, that's how it is. Okay. So it's not necessarily that you're signing up for a 6-week thing. if you want to, you could do that as well. All right, cool. You can't get better at something if you don't suck at it first. Yes. Joke's on you. I was born amazing. Let's see. Brutality. I remember I went to a fashion show and bowed to and thanked a door or something. That's funny. Kraken Skull is an idea, not a free company. Nor is it free. We are a friend company. $20 says that Tom is watching a game right now. Actually, I don't think there's any hockey right now because it's the Four Nations tournament thing. Okay. It's common for non-streamer FC Discords to have friends of the FC for events or just yapping. I've been kidnapped to FC Discords because I was filling in as an 8th in something they were running and popped in Party Finder. I'm in like 20 Final Fantasy Discords for exactly that reason, but I'm most active here. I'm in 3 Discords, period. Let's see. The most important thing, in my opinion, about the 6 weeks is don't think, oh, maybe I should eventually do X or Y. Just do it. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Casual. So, so the 6 weeks thing is just so that you guys know, right? I, as the leader of the community, am setting the intention, right? The captain setting the intention that the journey that we're going on as Kraken's called HeatherJustPlay community is we are going to try to create more events for more magic for more people. However that looks like for you is kind of up to you. But if you do want to take on like, hey, I'm going to coordinate like Eureka for the next 6 weeks, just let me know. We'll talk about it. And then however you want that to look, right? Whether it's one time, like it could be like very different, right? You can do a Discord voice chat orientation, kind of breaking down, here's what to expect. Then you can jump in game and do the first 10 things or whatever. And then you can do a part 3, however you want to do it. You know, we can, you can do, oh, I do want 2 historians though. That's like one thing I really want if possible. So if anyone wants to try to fill that in, that would be like a huge help. But let's see. 1 time weekly, doesn't matter. Make your dreams come true. Yes. Marky Mark, having 2+ leaders, very important because it really, 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 really relieves the pressure. Yes, I agree. I think so if you do it by yourself, it's the pro, I think, is that you're in total control and you are, it's all on you, right? The con is you're in total control and it's all on you. So I think like the spirit of camaraderie is a very special thing about this community. So I lean towards 2 people, maybe 3, depending on what it is. But like the point is, don't do it alone because it can be really stressful. And it doesn't have to be. Like none of this has to be. Again, this is purely recreation. This is total voluntary. If any time you feel weird, uncomfortable, bored, whatever, I will not take offense. Feel free to like not log back in. No worries. But yeah, let's see. In a good way, I've never known who the leaders officers are since no one feels more important, etc., or big-headed. Thank you all who you are. Oh, great. Awesome. That's good to know. So does anyone else have any questions, comments? I'm going to hang out till Kayan gets home at least. But the only thing I was going to do after this was roulettes. So I can make myself available if you want to chat. But again, like, feedback is everything. You guys can message me anytime. Let me make that very clear. You can message me anytime. Do not feel like you're bothering me. If you like have the itch to want to reach out to me and then you start talking yourself out of it, like, oh, maybe she doesn't need to know about this. Maybe this is boring. Maybe it's not a big deal. And you start talking yourself out of it. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. Even if you just want to say hi, feel free to message me anytime. but like it matters to me, right? So like I am putting it out there to you guys that like this is not just the Heather Just Play focus, it's also mine, right? Personally, like this is what I want to be doing because I think it matters. Okay, Kayan, you coming up? If you drop from an event, Heather will dock your pay. Avi says, I just want to express publicly, thank you so much for listening and giving me advice this week. Oh, I had a really tough time and your help meant so much to me. Yes, Avi, anytime. Anytime. Okay, Kayan, here we go. Aw. That's so sweet. Thank you, Kay. I don't want to cry again, so I'm going to try to breathe that one out. But so as Kay just shared, he is one of the people who got something really special out of this group. And so again, like I know a lot of us can be very opinionated and we have our Discord personalities and our Warrior of Light personalities or whatever. But I am in a privileged spot where I see a different side of the magic that is happening beyond the gifts and the banter and the maps. You know, I know that there's something really special and transformational happening on a personal level for so many of you guys. Kay is one of them. So that's why, right? If any of us come off harsh or weird or whatever, like obviously, like let's not, I don't think I have to say this, but let's not cross a line of disrespect. Like that's zero tolerance, right? But if we read a comment and interpret it in a weird way, what I would love for everybody to do here is benefit of the doubt, right? Best intention. Assume best intention. Because I promise you, like, there's just so much more going on, I feel like, that you are probably not seeing, you know, and I believe that this is a thing that should exist, and I think a lot of you do too. So let's not only protect it, but like cultivate it, right? And I hope, like, I get that because I am Heather of Heather Just Play, everyone's gonna show me their good side, and everyone's gonna, want to be friends with me. I get it, and I'm not saying all you guys have to be besties, and I think like the point here is not for everybody to be best friends. Like that's not the point. The point is to give these opportunities that I feel like are important and are impossible to find as an adult. But you have this space. You have Final Fantasy 14 where you like can't physically get hurt. You have me, you have this community, you have like this place where you can kind of go out of your comfort zone and try something a little bit different, even if it's just like I'm going to do group content for the first time or try a different class. Like those little things, right? Where there's no consequence, right? Like that translates personally in a very deep way. So thank you. Thank you, Kay, and thank you for sharing that. Tin, you're so ridiculous. Is it over? Tin, you coming on? Always assume best intent, says Tom Buck. This has always been my position since day one. Treat each other charitably, assume the best intent. I think like, by me kind of I can't even tell you. How many times did I tell Tom today, like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to say anything. Does this matter? Should I talk about this? I might, does this matter? Does this matter? Should I talk about it? Like, who cares? It's just a video game. Like, I was also talking myself out of it, but he helped me, and I just came to the conclusion, like, you can ask if you go to, like, why does this matter, right? You can start questioning everything. Like, why does anything matter? Why should you do anything? Why should you put effort into anything, right? And the thing that I default to is I think that this community and everything that people get out of it matters. And so I will be transparent and kind of like share how much it means to me, because then that allows other people to share how much it means to them. And maybe you have a different experience. So, hi, Tin. Thanks, Tin. So, thank you, Tin. Tin is one of the people who I messed up with, right? Like, I think all of us have had the first impression of Tin in Discord. And she is one of the people that I like tried to approach something in a certain way, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is the right way, and I agonized over it, and then she helped me to be like, you know what, just be honest, and I will hear what you are saying. And then I didn't have to like walk on eggshells or try to word it perfectly or whatever. I could just like be honest, right? And if I don't have to have the fear of saying the wrong thing. I think that's true. I would hope that that is true here, right? Like, because again, like, I know we've got all kinds of personalities, and again, I'm not trying to expect that you guys be besties or anything, but it's just the nature of bringing a bunch of strangers together. I don't want us to all. This is not a friend group clique, This is not supposed to be that. This is not like we all think the same way. That would be a cult. That is not what I'm trying. I think diversity is a huge strength of this community. I think like again, I'm in a privileged position where I know more than most other people, but I know that so many of you guys, it's different places in the world. We are a global community, different ages, different walks of life, different life experience. Like it's a very rich, diverse community that is going to lead to things that might come off as very harsh or abrasive or weird or whatever, might rub you the wrong way. But I think that everyone is here for the same values, right? That same magic. And if you can like just come in with that respect, you can still like be a part of that, and other people can still be a part of that. That's the goal. Okay. Let me thanks for coming up, Tin. Mission accomplished. We love you, Tin. Totally crying now. And yet you turned down my marriage proposal. Randall's here. I always just assumed any aggression was from love because that's how Scottish people communicate. As a New Jerseyan, that is something we have in common. This has been such a magical night. I'm so glad to be a part. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. Whoa. See, this is why like your feedback means so much to me, because I can't tell you how many times I was just like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It doesn't matter. It's stupid. Like, who cares? Am I making a big deal? I literally said to myself, I'm making mountains out of molehills today. I walked 5 miles probably around my house, just like, should I do it? I don't know. What should I say? Da da da. And I was just like, ah. So that's probably why I started crying, because I was putting a lot of pressure on myself. Hey, Doc, good to see you. Who's cutting onions? Aw. Anyone going to PAX East? I don't know what that is, but it sounds fun. Okay. Anyone else want to jump on stage? I didn't mean for this to be such a long event, but just thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being on board. I'm excited. It was affirming. It's very affirming for me that you feel similarly, that you're on board. And yeah, it's exciting. It's like I'm excited for the adventure we're going on. Let's see. Howdy. I let the time slip by and came in an hour and a half late. No worries. I will be posting the replay. I still can't decide whether I want to do it public. I will definitely post, because you guys, I think everyone who's come on stage so far didn't really have a question. So I think I might cut off this second part and just have the first part be a video on YouTube so you can watch it in 2x. That's what I do. It's just easier. Let's see. Cirilla says, really appreciate all the ideas and content you contribute to YouTube and the HJP community. I look forward to every video you and Tom post while I work and play. Please know you make my day every post, as well as Ishtar's. We love discussing your videos. Oh, wow. That's so nice. Crazy Doc says, it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and to build a community such as this. Thank you, Heather, Tom, and all who help with the moderation and stuff. Crazy Doc, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up to every video. Thank you for watching the MSQ discussions, replays. Just, again, there's no community unless you guys are here. And that's just me and Tom. So the gratitude is both ways. Fevra is asking, when can we sign up? Like this week. Okay. Yes. The shorter answer to that is yes. I need to figure out how to do this. So first thing I need to do is make Google Calendar. Second thing I need to do. Okay, so here's what would be really helpful. If any of you want to step up as the historian, which I know, like, I would love 2 historians, of capturing the magic, trying to capture the magic. I don't like, what does that look like? I'm open to you figuring that out, like however you want it to look. But that would be a very important job for me to exist. So there's that's kind of like separate because you're not planning anything. It's more of like capturing the essence of the next 6 weeks. If that is as simple as you get screenshots, you screenshot people's like Discord comments or whatever, and then you add that to the community highlights board, maybe it's as simple as that. But if you want to do something else, it's up to you, right? That is just like, if you're open to that, send me a message and we can talk more about it. For everything else in terms of events, these other things, these ventures, I'll call them. What I will do is, let's say tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do, create a new forum or something, whatever. You'll see it in Discord where I will put out some kind of post or a message where you can express your interest in taking on something, whether it's one of the ideas that was listed in the keynote or something else that you're thinking of entirely. We've already had a couple ideas that were not on the slideshow, like Eureka and stuff like that. And then we can pull it all together. It'll be in one place. And then by Friday, my goal is on Friday, we'll have a town hall part 2 where we can just circle back, answer any questions, maybe finalize who's going to be in charge of what for the next 6 weeks. That's my plan. Open to feedback. Always. Let's see. I recommend keeping a little bit of the Q&A in, just because Brutality's question helped you kind of focus and clarify your thought. That's true. Okay, maybe I just put the whole thing in there. It's just going to be awkward because during the voice chat, I'm just like over here crying in the corner. Person says, I feel like at least one historian per group that's not the leader would be good. Just someone to take images and show off the fun being had. Yes. Yes. The historians, maybe we have a historian committee. You know, again, like there's no right or wrong way to do this. Maybe we have a historian committee and then you guys can meet and kind of figure out who's going to go to what event. You know how the scions do reports to each other, right? Like something that's like, this was the event. Here's who was there. Here's what happened. Picture. Quote, maybe, you know, how we have that take shape. I don't know. Like maybe it's YouTube video. Maybe it's community highlights board. Maybe it's a website. I don't know. I'm open. Okay. Maybe it'll be now I'm leaning towards historian committee. So it's not so heavy on just 2 people, but if you are interested in the historian aspect, I would so like, please reach out to me ASAP because that I feel like is very, very important. Let's see. Yes. And then for the mods and the officers, right? Like you guys, again, the Discord mods, they are in charge of enforcing rules and guidelines in Discord. YouTube mods, rules and guidelines enforcing on YouTube. Cracked Call officers, making sure events are in line with our Cracked Call mission and really just the overall HJP vision. I would love for at least one officer or mod to be at every event, just to make sure like rules and guidelines and vision and values and all of that is just in case. Like, I just want to make sure. Documentarian. Even it's just a designated documentarian who then relays their stuff to the main historians. Yes. Love that idea. Okay. Scions of the HJP community. Scions of the 7th historians. Yes. We all get link pearls and call each other Scions of the 7th Kraken. You guys are you guys all have the ideas. Or how many seasons the Seattle Kraken are on. Maybe I could be a good historian because I plan on trying to go to everything anyway. The only problem is I'm bad at taking pictures and stuff. I play on potato graphics. I don't think it needs to be... I don't think it needs to be... Think of all of this, guys, like the whole thing as a blank canvas and pretend you didn't know what any of it had to look like. And you are the one giving it shape for the first time. I am open. There's no right or wrong. It's however you want, right? So like, even if you couldn't take screenshots, cool. How else could you capture an event, right? Like it doesn't have to be pictures or work with someone that can take screenshots, you know? You have to keep running back to the waking sands. Okay, so I'm going to throw it again. Does anybody want to come up? I can be here all night, okay? So does anyone else want to come up on stage, share input, feedback, ideas, thoughts, whatever? I want photos of tin floor tanking. Pray return to the highlight board. That's funny. Yes, Avi is very good at writing huge posts. Yeah, see, so the thing is, like, I know we don't have to have historians because so many of you guys do screenshots anyway. And I feel like it'll happen anyway, but it is such an important thing. And I just want to have people in charge. Otherwise, it could be like, when you're coordinating an event, it could be the first thing that you forget to do. So I just want to make sure that there's like somebody's got that base covered. Let's see. I love the idea of documenting this journey as an FC together. Yes, exactly. Having one person who collects those images from people and creates a collage or something. Exactly. 0. So you guys have been great, by the way. That is all. I missed everything that was said earlier with cooking. No worries, 0. I will post the replay. Again, it'll be on YouTube, so you can, 2x. I'm a big fan of 2X. And I'll do a recap. I'll do a recap post, and then all of you guys who are here could fill in anything that I'm missing, but then we'll do another one that's like sign up / interest, if that makes sense. Obviously, since we're all being honest about how we feel, I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't take as active a role because I'm already one of the most active people doing stuff. I hate being an attention hog, and I want to leave space for others to take leadership role. Okay, so let's unpack that last sentence. I hate being an attention hog. So do I. It's been really hard for me to get over the fact that I'm Heather of HeatherJustPlay. But I do understand the sentiment of wanting to leave space for others to take a leadership role. So yeah, like for the mods and the officers, like you do have an existing role that where you can kind of plug yourselves in to this new 6-week project, right? So yeah, I get that, Avi. I think that is my goal, right? Is if you haven't had the opportunity to lead something yet, here you go, right? Like here it is. No qualifications needed aside from willingness. Yeah, and then like by showing up to events, mods and officers, you're already doing something, right? Like you're being present, you're doing your mod officer things. So just know that I join and get excited about everything because I find it all exciting. I don't want to push anyone out if they want to enjoy things. I don't think we need to lead the events, but think of it more as supporting those who do want to lead the event. Yeah. And like, the other thing is since we are being, since we're just like putting it all out there, again, like if there's something that you would never have thought to try, I never would have tried extreme. Ever. I have zero interest, right? Literally the only reason why I signed up was because all you guys were there and you needed an 8th. And I was like, man, I don't want this whole event to not happen because you don't have an 8th. I joined in and it was like, I can't believe we cleared it, number one. But then like I knew the mechanics for when we did it this weekend. That was really cool. So if there's some, like, if you're not into roleplay, you've never been something you've been interested in, this is the place to just like, even if you go with an open mind and you do confirm that it's not your thing, cool. Awesome, right? But I think what's special about this place again is that sandbox magic of like you can try something, you can mess up, it doesn't have to be perfect, you can push yourself out of your comfort zone and it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. I personally don't think we're fighting for pieces of the same pie. Lots of different pies with room for whatever anyone wants. Another major thing is everyone showing up to support each other. Does Tom have his hand up? I don't think so. You were one of my Avi's one of the most welcoming people. I'm always worried about being a drag on the group during dungeons raids. So you've been really good with that. See, there you go. Yeah. The other thing I would encourage everybody, as part of the community is like, if you have something nice to say, like just say it. It's all good. Just say it. Okay. Last call for the stage. Dun, dun, dun. No one else? Okay. Okay. Actually, so here's what I'll say before we close out the event. If you don't want to jump on stage, that's cool. Write what you would say if you were on stage in the chat, right? Any feedback, anything, any thoughts, any feedback, any ideas, like it all matters to me. I just want to hear from you guys, But also, if you don't have to, you can totally peace out too. That is totally fine. As someone who generally enjoys being more in the background, I actually really appreciate when people like Avi have very active presence. It makes me feel so relaxed. Thank you, Avi. Yay! Tom is like, let me just plug in my SM7B to my Rodecaster Pro, and then I'll be on. Mordak says, I don't want to jump on stage, but I do want to say if I hadn't run into you guys, I wouldn't be subbed anymore at this point. I was getting bored of just grinding out roulettes every day. My IRL friends are the best, but we don't get to play very much and was not enough for me to keep paying. Getting to try the harder content with such awesome people is what a good community should be about. And it seems like we are just that without trying. Really mean this. Love you guys. Wow, that's so nice. See, guys. You're telling me a road creator of the year doesn't have a professional mic on him at all times? What I would say, we should kick K and a percent out of this community. I'm so happy I'm here. It matters to me. Pod mic gang. Oh, I had a pod mic. Percent, if I were to go on stage, I would say, thank you, Heather and Tom, for this amazing group. You may not want to be the star of this group, but you started it and we're here because of you. Also, 10 steaks. Those who I haven't met or chatted with, I hope to soon. I will say, like, one other, I have so many ideas, but the other thing, like, again, it's more magic, more opportunities for more magic for more people. But I think like icebreakers, like opportunities where you can just connect with somebody else, right? Beyond me, because I know by default you guys have a connection with me, but like now maybe you're connecting with someone in the chat, right? So now, like, I don't know, there's just somebody else that I want to have, like yesterday we had a whole discussion about Yakuza. Let's go. You guys want to do a whole friggin' Discord event talking about how much we love Yakuza series? Yes, I'm down. You want to talk about books? Let's do it. You want to do a book club? Awesome. I think if you're here, like, it's not about having everything in common. It's about the space, right? Like, it's about the environment. And yeah, if that makes sense. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. Let's see. The end of Muppet Christmas Carol. Every day will start with a grateful heart, or however it's worded exactly. I'm so excited. Let's go. Looking forward to all this. Thanks, Heather, for doing this town hall. Glad you decided to do this. Yay. Percent says, I want everyone to know I usually sit back and watch, but you are all welcome to approach me with any issues or questions. I'm always open to help in any way I can. Thank you, Percent. So here's another thing I want to do. I want to do, I just, the Discord freaking frustrates me. I want to have two people who actually are like new member liaisons, right? Like, so if someone joins tomorrow, they jump in here and it's like, where the hell do I start? It's like, it's not intuitive. So what I want to do is, now that we have our free company with our green screen room, I want to do like a freaking Brady Bunch, like, intro video of like, here are our Discord mods, here are our YouTube mods, here's our officers, like, here's who everybody is, and like, if you have questions about this, you can go here, or here's where you introduce yourself, here's where you do that. I have to get around to doing it, but yeah, I want to be the very best. You guys want to do karaoke? I'm down. Crazy Doc, I'm really thankful that I got introduced to Final Fantasy XIV. I've met some amazing people both in my FC and in this community. I'm grateful for you all. Thanks for letting me hang around, though. I'm pretty slow at getting through the story. Crazy Doc, you've been making crazy progress. I can't believe you were seriously like right behind Tom. So you're doing great. Agree with Percent, says Cirilla. Although we started with 14, I hope the HJP opportunities can continue to expand beyond Eorzea. Love that Heather wants people in the community to have as much spotlight. This is just the beginning, long journey ahead. Yes. As someone who met their husband online and some of my, greatest friends online in life, I have not personally met in person. So I totally believe in the genuine connection that we're all building here. Totally. You know, like if I saw you guys in real life, I would freak out. Let's see. Brutality says, I have been quite lonely playing this game. None of my in real life friends play anymore, and friends I made in the game have quit. It's been surprisingly difficult to find a community, so I'm so happy to have found you guys. Oh, you know what? Actually, thank you for sharing that, Brutality. Let me address one thing really quick. In terms of new people. So obviously open to new people. Just the only thing, and I think you guys know this, is like you gotta be with the HeatherJustPlay vibe, and then everything else comes second. You know, like we're not a 14 server first and foremost. We are the like HeatherJustPlay Kraken's Call server that plays Final Fantasy 14, right? Like you have to be on board with like the magic part. So like my role, and part of the reason why I'm doing this 6-week sprint thing, is that who's the one who's going to bring in more people? Probably me, through YouTube videos, right? Through streaming, through YouTube. So I need to do that. I need to go make more YouTube videos because that's what brings in people. Not that it's about having the most people. I really like that I feel like I know so many of you. I know all of your names. You know, I'm definitely not trying to be like 1,000 people in here. But you know, people are going to come and go. That's just the nature of communities. So it is something that I am keeping in mind in terms of like making more YouTube videos. Let's see. I know no one in person myself, met people at PAX, but that's just the weekend and done pretty much. I don't know what PAX is, but it sounds fun. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. I was actually going to do this today. I need everyone's portrait. I want like to make a yearbook. It's another idea. Maybe my future wife is here, you're saying then? Who knows? Once again, taking applications for YouTube wife. Send resume to my inbox. PAX East, PAX West by you. Look into it. It's a big video game convention. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, the only thing that I like is kind of video gamey on this side. I mean, not really, but like is Comic-Con. But yeah. Penny Arcade Expo, but it's really just general gaming and nerd stuff. Sweet. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a last call. Last call for thoughts, ideas, feedback, input. Giving you the opportunity to have your voice heard or have your text read. But see, even this, right? Even the town hall, I want to do more stuff like this. This town hall is good for many reasons. One of the reasons is showing me that I don't have to do it alone, right? And I knew that, but this is affirmation, right? And it's not even affirmation, but seeing you guys excited to kind of take on a bigger role, that is really affirming to me. This was a very successful town hall. Yay! We could have everyone line up in 2 lines and take turns kicking gamers on the knees. Looking forward to creating content with the community. We'll figure it out. Awesome. Yes. Like my intention was just to put it out there, to put all this out there, and then we'll see. So, okay, guys. So thank you so much. Thank you. I am just immensely grateful. I hope you can see this as an example of an example where I am like experiencing that magic that I said before, right? You are watching it in real time. Okay. I almost talked myself out of this 1,000 times today. It could have so easily not happened. I could be doing roulettes you know, and would have been just as fun. Well, not really. They're both fun, but this was like awesome. But like I could have, point is, it could have not happened, right? But I believed that it matters. I wanted to trust in the meaning of this, and I'm so glad I did. Clearly, you guys resonated with it, and so just thank you, right? Like, thank you for believing in everything I said. Thank you for being a part of it. I will say this forever and ever, but there is no community without you. I'm open to all the ideas. I'm here to facilitate and coordinate and give feedback, but I want the next 6 weeks to really be about you guys stepping up to take leadership and ownership in however way, in whatever creative way that you want to do it. Okay. We have a very diverse group with all different kinds of skills and interests and all of that. However you want it to look, I am open. Just like you're giving me the chance to make this crazy keynote and show it to you on a Tuesday night. The same thing. Like, however you want your, Pokemon event or tabletop event or whatever event. I'm open to it all. So, thank you so much again. Thank you. Just thank you for being such a highlight in my life. I will, you'll hear next steps from me tomorrow. Tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go eat dinner, and then I'm going to jump on and probably do roulettes because I really want to level up my archer. Let's see. Best 2 hours I'll spend this week. Gosh, Trevor, that's so nice. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to call it right now. Thanks again for this amazing town hall. And the last thing I'll say, promise, is if you please feel free to reach out anytime. And by reaching out, I mean send me a direct message. Send me a message. There's no don't talk yourself out of it. Just send me a message if you want to share thoughts, ask questions. I'm open. I'm totally open. Yeah? Cool? Okay, guys. Have a good night. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.